Let's do this. Unmute yourself. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you, Mr. Samuels.
What do you got for me?
Okay, I have more of a question.
Okay.
Um, I do not have much experience with dating. I am a first generation American, and it's dating isn't something that we usually
How old are you?
36.
You've called in before.
Yes.
Okay. I what am I don't go ahead.
Okay, so I have never really been asked out by black men before,
Uh,
except for once.
all right. But when I
And
spoke to you, last time, what was my suggestion for you?
oh, you didn't give me a suggestion because I called and it was a agreement or a
Okay,
disagreement.
you're 36 and you don't you don't really have any relationship experience, right?
Correct.
All right, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
That's nothing I can really address at this point because at 36, I don't know how you got here. That's why I always say therapist, personal trainer, image consultant, matchmaker. Well, I can say at 36, you're too old to be wasting time trying to figure it out online. You need to be actively doing a lot of things differently simultaneously if you want a different outcome. Because you'll be 40 like that. And it's atypical for a woman to reach the mid 30s and have no real relationship history. That's just not the norm. And there's nothing I can really address here that's going to change your outcomes. That's some one-on-one work.
Okay.
All right. And that has nothing really to do with propaganda. And what it does have to do though is our the way the West is now, it's made women like her feel comfortable getting to their mid 30s without relationships. It's like, well, no big deal when I decide I want to have a relationship. But 50, 60 years ago, spinster. Folks would have started asking, where your baby's at? Where your husband at? That'd have been pressure. And that's what a lot of women thought they were getting liberated from. But with pressure also helps focus. If you have a disagreement, raise your hand. Um, if you have a disagreement, raise your hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow people who have disagreements to raise their hand. I'll be right back. You're out of your mind. Do not ask me to. Okay. All right. I don't see anybody raise their hands. Let's go here then.
I
Hello.
rebuke.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi.
You have a disagreement?
I do not. I had a comment.
Go ahead.
My comment is for all the women who say that they don't have time and they can't squeeze putting a relationship together into their lives.
Yeah, you
I
guys got
did
you
it.
got to you got to get quicker at this. Well, y'all are kind of just going.
Okay, I'm saying I did it.
Okay, Princess, what do you got for me?
Hi. I've been watching ever since the viral video, and I'm in a fairly new relationship, and I would like to think he's pretty high value. And I even just had a show where I just got done talking with men,
What's the question or comment?
with men telling us what we want. I'm learning from you and other men that sometimes we just need to shut up. Like this guy, he's teaching me, and I'm learning a lot from you about how to be more cooperative. And it is.
Okay, hold on just a second. Ladies, we gotta get to the okay. Here's what I need. This is the show. And everybody wants there to be heard, but I got a format. It's a conversation. It's not a monologue. Ms. Peck, what do you got for me?
Hi, Mr. Samuels. So my question is, for those who are, for me, like I know that I have a weight issue, right? I am overweight and I'm 22 years old, and I just wanted to know when would be a good time to start dating. Should I wait until after I lose the weight, or should it be, during?
What are the outcomes you want? You want to be married?
I do.
Okay. What dress size are you now?
I am a 16.
All right. Any man that you would date right now would be different than the man you would date if you were dress size 4'6".
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Men are visual. We choose different. So I don't know how you got there, but the priority needs to be getting as fit as you can get safely and quickly, because the time still ticks.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell you what not to do, but I would say this: you don't want to. I just say I wouldn't date anybody seriously, because to be fair, the men are going to be different, and you're going to be different. But you don't want to not have interactions with guys. I just say you damn sure don't want to be having sex with a bunch of different guys. You damn sure don't want to be having a bunch of sex or getting emotionally attached to anybody, because that's just extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
So, but to the mothers out there and the mothers and fathers, stop letting your children get to be, come on now. They need to be dress size 6, 4, 6. Mm-hmm. Got to have some room to grow. Got to have some room to put some babies on, put some baby weight on. You can't just be coming into marriages as dress size whatever and then think, oh, okay. Because a man looks at that and says, well, where's the room to grow after she has my child? I'm be dealing with something else. Unmute yourself. Hi, first name. What's the disagreement?
Where there was, blacks and whites. And one of the things that I think that some of us could learn from in terms of dating is looking at some of our non-black counterparts and how they handle situations with men, because most of my girlfriends are married, have children, and
hold on. I want to be clear. You're saying 40?
Yeah, I know. I'm not using myself as an example. I mean, I know what you're saying to all the women.
Well, I didn't even get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to say what I was going to say, so you can't know that.
Go ahead, sir.
And what I'm going to say is going to have import. No, you need to go to the men you want to pick you and ask what they want. Going to look at what other women do for their men happens after they already have their men. You're looking at them after acquisition. Y'all can't acquire.
Well, okay, when you say y'all, you're using that broadly, but
because we're not talking about you. I'm using the same example you just used.
I feel like me personally, it has always been in a different arena. Like I said, if you've partied with people of different races,
okay, hold on.
It's different. It's a little different.
Hold on. Okay, have you been married?
I'm not married, no children. So
okay,
no.
So we're not talking. Okay, I judge based upon marriage, not dating and dealing with.
But you got to start somewhere.
No. Young ladies, ma'am, no. This is what I mean. And the reason I stopped you and said what I was going to do is automatically your tone in talking with me is not a conciliatory tone. I gave you room to speak and say what you're going to say. And you go straight over into telling women what they need to possibly do to look at other women, how they treat their husbands. That's a possibility. but you got to tell people how to get a husband. And that's the problem that seems to be happening so often here is acquiring a man that wants to marry, becoming a man's wife.
But would you agree there's stages to that?
I agree that the distinction you're trying to make doesn't matter. You ladies like to be right. And the thing is, obviously there's stages, ma'am. You don't just go from driving down the street to being a wife and pregnant, obviously, but that is obvious. This is what I mean. We have, and especially in our generation, Generation X, there is a massive breakdown of communication between the men and women. We are the ones that took the brunt of this. And I feel the sorriest for Generation X Black women, because I think when the stats come out, it's going to be 1 in 4 will marry. I think it's going to be closer to 1 in 6.
I think you're actually correct. I do. I don't actually disagree with you, Kevin. I hope you don't get that.
No, I'm not saying you disagree.
My point is really as a single Black woman, 40, unmarried, no children. I get everything you're saying.
I'm glad, but you still can't overtalk me. And this is what I'm trying to get. Even when you like Black men, you still don't. It's hard for them to just turn it off and like, hey, I'm still gonna come through and hey. All right. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap this up because it's kind of getting a little bit long. And I feel bad for a lot of women because it's like, well, at least men can choose to do something different and have a different outcome. Women, after your prime years are gone, I mean, you can't go get those back. I would say this, that sisters, a lot of you need to learn how to speak softer and more feminine. It's not uncommon for women to get on my show and y'all sound like y'all about to belt out a solo at church. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, God damn, you have feminine octaves. Use the feminine octaves and drop your volume about 80%. If you learn a different outcome, but if you don't, okay. Okay, we'll try this person. They have their camera on. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello? I can't hear you. Hello? You got to say something. Rossetti, hello? Okay, she's not speaking. So, all right, here's what we come down to. You know, we're going to have part 2 to this because I've noticed, and other people have noticed, that there are so many young women under the age of 24, 25 and under, you know, straight out of college or, you know, in college. So many women are so angry.
Yeah, that's the point. They coming out and they're so angry. And oftentimes, the ones that are mostly angry are the ones that are in their 35 going. If you listen to this lady that came in talking about how they're supposed to look at other races of women and learn something from that, they always seem to know it all when they hit the wall. And it's surprising to me. Growing up from 18 to 30, they didn't figure it out. Later on in life, then they come online, try to make it look like they know what time it is. And you clearly show, and your results has proven that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And my problem with these type of women is this: when they come into this type of conversation, instead of them to act and behave like they don't know what the hell they are doing, because their lifestyle has proven that they don't know what the hell they're doing. They will try to make it look like they know better, and they're coming in to teach younger or young girls, if you like, what's up or what to do, or how to navigate their way around dating. Which you yourself, your result that you've gotten has shown that you don't know shit. And the combative nature of our women is just a goddamn problem. You can see the overtalking and all those things, and that is a proof of why these women tend to be single and bitter, angry. They are always angry because of things that they cause themselves. They are mostly angry because they don't have husbands. They're mostly angry because they don't have the outcome that they were told they'll get after having a degree or whatever the case is. That's just the truth. What they were promised is always different from what the outcome. So they turn up being angry, and they are not going to be angry at the people that gave them wrong information, which is their moms. They will turn up being angry at black men just, for no reason. Because your moms told you to go get a degree. Prioritize your education. Prioritize being strong, independent, and you guys are always proud to come out and say these things. I'm proud, strong, independent black woman. I've never heard a white woman saying something like that. Not to sound racist, but I've never heard something like that from a white lady or Hispanic, whatever the case is. I've never heard something like that. But our women can come on a national television saying something like, I am a strong, proud, independent black woman, blah, 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 blah. And it's a badge of honor. And if you are not strong black woman like they want, or they think you should be, then you're weak. The other group of women are called weak. Pygmies. Take your hatred towards the people that sold you that dream. And that's your moms, not your dads, not your brothers, not the government, right? The government will tell you, hey, pursue degree, but they are not in charge of your life. It's always shaped, your minds are always shaped by your moms. So if you have anything or any bitterness, take it towards your mom. It's not the fault of a black man that you are single at 40 years old or at 35, whatever the case is. Now, when you are 40 and you're single, means the window is shut down. You can't reproduce. And there is nobody responsible for that rather than yourself and your mom. So, I think that brings us to the end of today's video. Guys, catch you in the next one. We out. Peace.